I'll call the City of Cumming Planning and Zoning meeting to order. Item number 2, do I have a motion to adopt the agenda?
Motion to adopt the agenda.
Second.
Motion seconded by vote. Carries unanimous. Thank you. Item number 3, do I have a motion to approve July 16th, 2019 meeting minutes?
Motion we approve the minutes.
Second.
By vote, carries unanimous. Thank you. Item number 4, old business. A, Central Forsyth Properties LLC rezoning number 2018320, public hearing. Do I have a motion to open public hearing?
Motion up the hearing.
Second.
Motion second. Before we vote on that, the way public hearing works, each side has a total of 10 minutes. We'll ask to present, then we'll let anybody else speak that wants to speak, and we will go from there. Okay, everybody vote. We'll open public hearing. Public hearing is now open. All right. So, Emery, you want to come up and tell us your
Yes,
plan
please.
on this?
I'm going to be real brief. I'm just going to identify the speakers that we'll have for this tonight are Lamar Wakefield here, Greg Power right here, Warren Jolly in the next row back, and Bill Butler sitting next to him. Now, Lamar, if you want to get started with it, I'll get out of the way.
Thank you.
Lamar Wakefield, 5200 Avalon Boulevard, Alpharetta. There you go, view, I believe.
Got
That's us here.
there we go.
All right, so this is the Mashburn Village site, which is obviously a very historic piece of property in the city of Cumming. As you can see on the master future land use plan, 2037, most of the site is designated for mixed use. I want to compliment the mayor and staff for working with us for months and months. This is zoning plan number 15 that we've worked on. A variety of reasons for that. One was the housing that was next door that we ended up taking out of the zoning, the older residential group that was next to the theater. But essentially, we worked with them to come up with this plan, which takes the extension of Buford Dam Road all the way over to Veterans Memorial, which also will tie in, hopefully, with a plan for connectivity on another loop road that the city's taking a look at. And then essentially working through with our development partners here, Bill Butler, who's the master developer, Terwilliger Pappas, who's doing the city homes, Warren Jolly, who's doing the single-family detached and attached, and then there's the commercial district of retail. So as we look on my mouse here, we do have a roundabout proposed kind of in the center of this extension. That road comes back to about right here right now. And then we highlight that with a large green space here that we think can be a great public space for different programmed events annually, seasonal festivals and so forth, art, whatever. And then a bunch of retail, which primarily will be food and beverage, entertainment. There could be some apparel. We're kind of in that business right now, doing projects like Halcyon and Avalon and those things. And the soft good retailing business is in a tough place like this red hot minute. So mostly food and beverage, we think, and some entertainment. And the city homes are here. There is a storage unit, multi-story storage opportunity on the top right that kind of faces that food across the street there. And then all this on this side is for sale, single family attached and detached. There is a large power line, by the way, that goes through right here that we're trying to plan around. I go backwards. Here's some land use percentages. We'll be happy. I think William is emailing all this to you guys to look at, but open space is about 20%. As we go back and look at that, there is a wet weather scenario here. And then, of course, we have some green space of our own that we've introduced to the plan. We show this phasing component, which would be this part of the city homes and this much retail, and with a sleeve of commercial on the bottom of this apartment building. And then this is the third phase, which would be Warren, and the second phase would be as on demand the rest of the retail. So let me introduce Terwilliger Pappas real quick to talk about their city homes. Greg.
Thank you, Mr. Whitmer.
Hello again. My name is Greg Power. I'm one of the development partners at Twilliger Pappas, Atlanta-based development. We've done a lot of work in Chamblee, Swanee, Gainesville, and now hope to complete another project with you guys. Just go to the, as we all know, 55-acre site, Mashburn Village, and the multifamily component, city home component, will comprise of 1s, 2s, and 3-bedroom flats, as well as 20 leasable townhomes. We make up 10.5 acres of the 55, so less than 20% of the land use plan. One thing I did want to highlight, this plan has 20% open space, so preserving, a fifth of it. Twilliger Pappas program, we want to elevate home. It is our brand tagline. How we do that is how we bring in, how we design our units, focused on natural light, focused on our first-class amenities. What you'll find in this will be just what you would find in a custom home. Custom cabinets, granite countertops, stainless steel appliances, first-class fitness amenity, rooftop, pool, as well as DIY rooms, public gardens. So what I've done here, I've just highlighted for you guys some of the attributes of our multifamily. Almost 40% 1-bedrooms, 50% 2s, and the rest a real small percentage of 3s and townhomes. Rents average almost $1,670 a month. Our units go from 700 feet up to about 1,600 square feet.
Sorry, Greg, what was that average again? You said? Rent average?
Rent average about $1,650 is what we're projecting right now. The range is $12,000 to $3,000 a month. So what we're targeting is the renter by choice. A picture of our elevation, really heavy on brick, worked a lot with planning, worked a lot with the mayor on these elevations. So 65% brick, 25% glass, and the remaining being accent pieces. And then what we've done is we've gone ahead and rendered what we think is just what does not exist in this market of A+ amenities. These are some renderings of our pool, fitness, club and rooftop, and then a unit. So with that, I'll turn it over to Lamar to talk about the retail.
Okay, so this is the rendering of that green space that we were targeting on the site plan. That's would be good for festivals and other program events. And then we'll have to double side this retail, just because we'll want to be able to enter from the parking, which essentially is on this side of the building, with front entrance and then rear entries that go out to outdoor seating and so forth. So we've talked to the mayor and shown him each of these retail buildings. And so I think the total square footage, William, on the retail is 65,000. So I'm gonna turn it over to Warren Jolly real quick to talk about his product.
Mr. Chairman, members of the commission, Warren Jolly. I'm president of the Province Group. We're a builder in Atlanta that builds about 500 houses a year. We are not a tract type builder, even though we build up many houses. We pretty much build in the higher end. Our average sales price is $500,000. We're very used to building in this type of community, mixed use communities. We've done several in North Fulton, Forsyth County. We did Jamestown. We did Deerfield. We did Traditions with Lamar, and then we've done several others. Normally the residential is not the key component of this, and we kind of get stuck with what land's left and figure out how to make it work. But we do drive the higher end demographic price point buyer. We're just not a per square foot provider. Most of the townhomes are 2 and 3 bedrooms. All the single family are probably 3 bedrooms. We do the lot size and configuration of our product demand really not many children. We have a lot of empty nesters. We have a lot of young women, young married couples, our buyers, but being not a price point per square foot, there's so many other builders that provide that. If you have any questions, I'd be more than happy to ask you about the product, but want to reserve the time for rebuttal. Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks. Yeah, well, I mean, like I said, if y'all got some, or getting close on time, do you want to save some time for some questions we got for a little bit or whatever?
Reserve the rest of it.
All right. Any questions so far from the board? We're ready to go forward. No, sir. All right, if we have anyone here that would like to ask any questions or speak for or against this, besides the people presenting? Yes. Yes. Well, like I said, I don't have, okay.
No, but I'd like to work at 10 minutes so we can go city council.
Okay, yes. And like I said, we're a recommendation board. Whatever we recommend will be in a package that you've, and it's into a time between us and them, right? And that can be available when we get it.
Yeah.
When we get to a point, I mean, like I said, when we get to a point where everything is available. Any other? Excuse me, but
Hey,
when
if
y'all
you-
come
if
up,
you're
and
gonna
you
speak,
come
you
up
need
and
to
speak
come up
your
and-
name,
and,
just where we have it for the record. I apologize, don't mean to do that. Just where we can have it. Thank you.
Curious as to how many homes you're actually putting in. Like, I thought I saw at one point it was 230 new homes, or was that single family and townhomes and apartments? I'm not sure where that,
What's the total number, William? On this drawing, I've seen 2 or 3, so I'll make sure I give the right number.
so that 300 and some leasable homes.
438 total.
Yes,
So 300 of those are at least like rental properties.
yes.
Is there an HOA that takes care of that? Because that seems like a huge rental area. And not all renters are fantastic and keep up their properties. It does sound like they're higher end, but
This-
that's my curiosity with such a
Big o-
large.
If you'll address, and like I said, let me answer.
not
if
really
you
sure
can.
which way I'm
That's what I'm
supposed to
saying,
look.
and we will, but I don't want to get in between. This is in the covenants and all, which will be, it is required to have, it will have 2 or 3 different associations. There will be association just for the apartment complex that will be required. There will be an association for the single family across the way, and they will all be mass members of them, and the retail will have an association. Then it will be mass members of another association that's in charge of everything. So it's layered 3 and 4 times in a mixed use. And under the city's requirements. I'm answering from the city standpoint here, not theirs.
Ma'am, would you mind also stating your name for the?
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm Linda Hilton. I live in the Pilgrim Mill area.
Thank you.
Thank you. Yes, ma'am.
I'm Vicki Schroy, and I live off of Pilgrim Mill. And I just have a question. I know you say this is high end, but I'm just curious, based on your funding, will you be required to have any HUD in the rental properties? Any HUD homes, Section 8? Copy? There's no HUD, so your funding does not require that in any of these? Okay. Thank you.
Now, we did, in this project, I will state that there were some lower end apartments that were part of this. They have been taken out and they will be left alone. It is not a part of this project anymore. They stay in as they are. Anyone else like to make a comment? Okay. Yeah, if you
Come up and state your name.
come up and
please,
state your
sir.
name. Okay, come on up. If you do, like I said, if you just come state your name, we'll explain.
Thank you. So I just wanted to know where the property was, the location. I heard Buford Dam Road, but I wasn't.
It's actually, you know where the movie theater is in the middle of town?
Yeah.
Right behind it, the property from behind the movie theater, back over to Veterans Memorial Boulevard.
Okay.
Across from Cock Foods is here.
So down,
Movie
so
theater.
more or less downtown.
Yes, it's in the middle of downtown, right off
So how
there.
is that going to affect traffic down?
They're cutting through in the entrance, and they have to do what's called a DRI, which is Developable Regional Impact. That has to go before a study and explain how all the traffic's gonna go and what road will carry and what will do all that
Okay.
as part of their submittal process to the state.
I wait for those traffic lights every
Well,
morning.
I understand. I'm not arguing that way. I'm just saying that it is part of the process. Veterans Memorial is a.
There'll be
side lane.
recommendations that come out of that DRI that they'll have to do.
They'll have to
whatever
do
improvements
some
are-
probably improvements, and
that's
Buford Dam cutting through is one of the improvements, that it has to interconnect some roads where there is more than one exit, and you're not pouring all traffic onto one road, that you have multiple exits, so there are some things that do have to be considered.
All right, I'm reminded of the county fair.
Right.
Yeah, so,
Sir, what'd you say your name was?
oh, I'm sorry, it's Richard Thurgood. Okay, that's all I have right now.
I hope I answered your question.
Oh, and you said this information will be available how?
Well, when we finally get there's conditions now that are partial, and they will be evolving over the next one. When a final set is available, Scott, are they available online? Come by and get copies. How do we do
I mean,
that?
if you want, you can send me an email and I'll be happy to get them to you. I don't know if the applicant wants to get you that package, but I mean, I'll be happy to send you what I've got, which is pretty much the full presentation here.
Oh, that'd be terrific. Yeah, sometimes it's really hard to find information when you're looking at
Right. And
planning.
like I said, sometimes websites are, just
Yeah.
feel free.
Some of it is
Morgan.
online right now on the city website, but as Mr. Webb's saying, it's going to be updated and revised, some of those conditions and so forth. But the basic package is online right now on the city website.
Okay.
But I'll be happy to, like I say, provide you a copy of
That
that.
would be terrific.
And if for some reason you can't find it on the city website, Scott's gonna shoot me for this, but call and ask to speak to Scott.
Okay,
That's right.
thank you.
Yeah.
Now that I'm clear about where this is, the senior units behind the Movies 400, will they be displaced?
No, ma'am, that's what I'm saying. They were part of this project and they have been taken out. They will remain. In other words, it's just the other side of them. They were pulled back out and left alone.
Okay, thank you.
Hi.
Hi, I'm Margie Carroll. I live off of Antioch between, Pilgrim Mill Road. My question is, first and foremost, is how will they be available? Because when we've asked for information on stuff, we've had to request an open records request in order to get that information. So tell me how you're going to send it to us via email. And also if that'll include the DRI report.
That will, I can get you that information as well.
So if I email you, you're not going to tell me to
No.
open records request?
No.
Okay. All right, the next thing, is there a percentage of a drop down of, that will be included in that, showing us what each percentage of the mixed use is, like they showed up here today?
Yes, it's on the front page of the condition. Yes, ma'am.
Okay. All right, and those 320 apartments that they're calling city homes, is that what you're calling city homes?
It's a mixture of those and townhomes, I think. Yes, ma'am.
No, there's 42 townhomes, so the 320 are apartments. Is that
That's correct.
Let
That's
me ask,
correct.
I'll have to ask.
Yes.
Is that what it is? Okay. And then the pool you said was on top of a roof, is a rooftop, or what is the rooftop? Is that? Okay. Okay. Those are my questions. Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else have any comments? Any more comment, any questions at this point? Okay, do I have a motion that we close public hearing?
Motion, we close public hearing?
Second.
Motion is second, by vote unanimously. Okay. We've come a long way on this one. Like he said, this is the 15th rendition of it. We still got a little ways to go on some of the conditions, so I'm gonna make a motion that we postpone this. We will meet with the developers some more. We've asked for some more things from some conditions. We will meet and update some of them and try to get the information out to you. I have a second.
Second.
Motion seconded by vote, carries unanimous. Thank you. All right, item number 5, new business. Atlantic Realty Development, LLC, annexation number 2019363. Okay, this is a development on
It's really Marketplace Boulevard.
Marketplace
Turner Road.
Boulevard for most of it. It has some
Turner
others.
Road.
This one is postponed. There's 2 different issues with this. They're having to update the DRI because some things changed. And there's also some objections from the county that the applicant needs to straighten out with the county. So this is really out of our hands for right now. I just want to announce that this one is postponed for right now until some of those issues are resolved. Okay, Adam, we don't have to vote to postpone because it's automatically postponed because they got to get it.
We lay it on the table until what time, until such time we pick it back
So I
up.
don't have to. Okay. B, Forsyth County Board of Education, annexation number 2019372. Do I have a motion to open public hearing?
Motion up here.
Second.
Vote second, everybody vote. Carries unanimous. There's somebody here that wants to tell us about this one, or is this one government initiated?
There may not be anybody here, I told them, but
Okay.
I'll be
All right,
happy.
why don't you explain it, because like I said, this is a government initiated thing, it's a little different. Nobody's here for the Board of Education. so if
I'll
you'll
be happy
speak.
to address these.
Yes.
Mr. Chairman. What they're, essentially what they're doing is they, part of the property that they own up off Dahlonega Highway and Pilgrim Mill Road is already in the city limits where they build their administration center. They're gonna do additional development on the back of that property, and, but that portion of the property is not within the city limits. So, they're requesting annexation into the city, to bring all, basically their remaining property in the city and then complete the development that's on the back of the property. And I do have a staff report after the public hearing.
Okay, hold on, we're not ready for a staff report yet. Okay, so this is the new, where they're proposing to put the Performing Arts Center, correct?
Yes.
Have anyone else here that would like to speak on this annexation for the Board of Education? Okay, do I have a motion to close the public hearing?
Motion to close the public hearing.
Second.
No saying, everybody vote. Carries unanimous, thank you. All right, Scott, now will you give us a staff report, and then we'll see where we're at.
All right. The property owners made application to annex and rezone to institutional 11.881 acres, more or less, for the purpose of constructing additional education facilities on their property. The subject property is currently vacant and is zoned county agricultural. Of the 29.951 acres, more or less, which the Board of Education owns, this is the remaining portion which is not in the city limits. The rezoning institutional is in conformance with the city future land use plan. Forsyth County has acknowledged receipt of the proposed request and indicated they are not aware of any county-owned facilities on the subject property. Therefore, staff recommendation is for approval of the annexation and rezoning to institutional with the following conditions. Number one, Forsyth County must provide written notice of no objection to the proposed annexation and rezoning prior to the City Council voting on the proposed request. And condition number two, all future facilities constructed on the subject property must be permitted without charge and inspected by the City Department of Planning and Zoning. I'll be happy to answer any questions.
Any questions from the board?
No, sir.
I would like to add one condition, number 3, to the staff report, that the school board must present to the mayor and council the intended use of this property, and they must approve the intended use. Okay, so I'll make a motion that we send annexation number 2019372 forward to the council as stated in the planning and zoning report with the additional condition. Do I have a second?
Second.
Motion second, everybody vote. Carries unanimous. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. Item C, Williams Estate annexation number 2099373. Do I have a motion to open public hearing?
Motion we open the public hearing.
Second.
Motion second. Anybody here to speak on this one? Okay.
Yeah, Mr. Chairman, I can address this if you'd like.
You'll address this one. Is this cleaning up something we messed up?
I believe so.
Okay,
This,
go ahead.
this is actually in relation to the previous annexation that was just recommended for approval. The Board of Education and the Williams Estate did a land swap for property, and this property that's now part of this annexation request was not annexed into the city. So it must be, if you recall, a couple months ago, actually last month, the council voted to annex the other portion of the Williams Estate into the city and rezone it, and this property will go with that. This small piece of property will go with that. previous annexation approval.
This is to square up the school board and them, I guess.
That's
is
correct.
what this
That's
is doing.
in the land exchange that they had between the Williams Estate and the school board.
All right, anyone here want to speak? Okay, do I have a motion to close public hearing?
Motion to close the hearing.
Second.
Motion seconded by vote, carries unanimous, thank you.
I do have a staff report also.
All
Mr.
right, if
Chairman.
you'll read the staff report.
The property owner has made application to the proper authorities to annex and rezone to annexed property, 1.703 acres more or less, to accompany the 74.15 acres more or less which previously annexed and rezoned to AP on July 16th, 2019. This property is part of a land exchange between the Williams Estate and the Forsyth County Board of Education. The property is currently vacant and is zoned county agricultural. The rezoning to AP is in conformance with the city future land use plan. Therefore, staff recommends approval of the proposed annexation and rezoning with the following conditions. Number one, Forsyth County must provide written notice of no objection to the proposed annexation and rezoning prior to the city council voting on this proposed request. And number two, any future improvements to the annexed property must be approved by the mayor or his designated representative before any grading or building permits are issued. Be happy to answer any questions.
Just to be clear, this matches up, in other words, these conditions match up with the conditions with the other piece that they're swapping.
That's correct. Yes, I do.
Okay, I thought it is, we'll make sure. Okay, I'll make a motion, the Williams Estate annexation number 2019373 go forward to the council for approval. Should I have a second?
Second.
Second, everybody vote. Carries unanimous, thank you. Item number 6, do we have any announcements?
No, sir. Jeff?
Anything, Jim? Item number 7, do I have a motion to adjourn?
Motion to adjourn.
Motion second, everybody vote. Carries unanimously, thank you, adjourn. Thank you, everybody.